Welcome to the Pulse of Janesville and Rock County, hypothetically speaking, brought to you by the Rock County Civics Academy. It's June 13th, 2025. I'm your host, Rich Gruber, and today we'll take a thoughtful look at what's going on and shaping the year ahead for our communities. From county budget talks to a mysterious leaking pond, from fairground upgrades to spirited city council debates, and, well, from housing reform to student civic leadership. We'll cover all the events with a lens that brings it to you in the sense of local democracy in action. Let's begin with the Rock County budget. In the county's proposed 2023 budget, it's nearly $239 million. It contains about a 2.4% tax increase over the previous year, and it supports over 1,600 full-time employees, making the county government the region's largest local public employer. That's more staff than all of the general fund workers in every other Rock County municipality combined. Now, here's what's going on and where it gets interesting. One of the first major budget discussions that happens centers on employee health insurance. The county is considering a shift from a flexible point of service plan to a more restrictive HMO-style option. The idea? Well, lower premiums. The trade-off, less provider choice for employees and their families. This reflects a growing dilemma. How do we maintain strong public services and fair benefits while trying to keep budget constraints in line? Local workers they walk a tightrope here, and the tension is only going to rise as employees work towards wellness, retention, and morale, and all of that hangs in the balance. And for many counties like this, personnel costs are the largest single item within that budget. Well, it's a challenge. Let's talk water, or the lack of it. At Rock County Heritage Park, a man-made pond is supposed to be a peaceful feature. Instead, it's sprung a leak. Despite pumping millions of gallons from the Rock County River, the pond holds just about half its intended volume. An engineering study priced at $20,000 was put on hold. Why? Well, officials want cheaper options. But the leak remains, and the mystery persists. And the water just keeps disappearing. You know, sometimes it's the most obvious problems that are the hardest to fix, especially when there's no clear consensus on how much we're willing to spend to preserve this inherited asset. It raises the question, how do we prioritize public amenities that serve long-term quality of life and not just an immediate return on investment? A challenge. On a brighter note, over at the Rock County Fairgrounds, the deteriorating grandstand is finally getting an upgrade. Thanks to smart value engineering and a streamlined design, the final project cost came in well under the original $800,000 estimate. A win for taxpayers and for future fairgoers. The grandstand isn't just a venue, it's a symbol of civic pride, and it's a symbol of community tradition. The improvements promise to enhance accessibility, safety, and comfort for many years to come. Now, here's something new. The Rock County Board will hold a public retreat on a Saturday morning. Topics include debt strategy, credit ratings, and early 2026 budget planning. Not your typical weekend itinerary, but a welcome move. We're here for it. Open retreats like these offer rare transparency, and they invite the kind of big picture thinking our communities need more of. It's an opportunity for the public to see not only how decisions are made, but sometimes more importantly, why. Meanwhile, in Janesville, it's anything but a smooth meeting. The council approved 3 resolutions for alcohol licensing at the soon-to-be-open Woodman Sports and Convention Center. The action seemed routine until, well, confusion set in. Discussion revealed issues with an existing agreement that requires revision due to conflicting liquor dispensing rights. Members, well, they were evidently perplexed as they navigated through the complexities of the discussion. At one point, a council member described the proceedings as a circus. It is the responsibility of the council president to guide the meeting in an orderly manner. Additionally, members are obligated to respect and adhere to that guidance. A more concerning discussion pertained to the granting of extensive powers to the city manager and how it was characterized. A seemingly standard clause granting the city manager considerable authority to modify and amend council-approved contracts without further council oversight was questioned. Councilmember Erdman proposed an amendment to strike that language, while Vice President of the Council, Squire, expressed concerns that any change would create a potential burden on the city manager to have to report even minor changes. Now, although this may appear to be a minor matter, the provision clearly grants significant latitude to the city manager. The council is relinquishing its oversight authority on city contracts and business by resolution without thoroughly considering or holding anyone accountable. The city manager, based on his comments, would have the public believe that the council was pulling back that granting of authority, and it infringes upon his role as an administrator. In response to the concerns about inadvertent clerical errors, such mistakes are legally considered minor and unintentional. The issue lies in how the administrative power is being wielded. For instance, the chief executive of the state of Wisconsin can alter an entire school financial aid formula with a simple stroke of the pen. While consistent with the legislative intent of funding schools, that action raises questions about the separation of powers and responsibilities. This requires public rectification, and the council should, in our opinion, retain oversight authority. The amendments passed by the council still permit the city manager to make unilateral changes, although they must be reported back to the council. This represents improvement and a small step in the right direction. This episode really spotlights the need for clarity in governance. Perhaps it's time to refresh Robert's rules, tighten the consent agenda, and ensure delegated authority doesn't overshadow elected accountability. The public deserves clarity and order, and not a spectacle. Regional housing and public input. Well, elsewhere across the region, there's movement on public engagement. In Beloit, public comment is shaping up on a bold community development plan for affordable housing, and they are making progress. In Madison, zoning reforms may soon allow more duplexes, backyard units, and mid-sized buildings. It's an ambitious plan to push for affordability and density. Are we paying attention? Milton is asking residents how they prefer to participate and offer their input on issues. They're suggesting surveys, focus groups, interviews, and forums. It's an invitation to speak up before decisions are made. In contrast, however, the Beloit School Board may limit public comment to just 15 minutes in total. In Janesville, well, still no formal reply to growing calls for a housing policy summit. Public input is messy, but it's the bedrock of democracy. Limiting comment time silences voices. Embracing multiple formulas like Milton is a smart and inclusive path toward communities, as they want communities to thrive when residents are treated not as obstacles, but as partners. That takes me to student civic leaders. Some of the most exciting news this month for us, well, the Civics Academy launching its Civics Leadership Practicum. We're excited. The Rock County Civics Academy, in partnership with the Milton High School, has selected 4 outstanding seniors to shadow elected officials and others, attend meetings, and lead civic projects. Principal Jeremy Bilhorn will join us on a future Newsmaker to share more news on this important development. Catch that segment, Newsmakers, on Fridays at 9:30 a.m. on JATV, and at 9:15, join us on WCLO's Your Talk Show with Tim Bremmel. Or watch anytime on YouTube. Just search for JATVMedia or Rock County Civics Academy. This program represents more than just a school activity. It's a training ground for the next generation of civic leaders. Our communities need these bright, motivated young people now more than ever. In the Community Spotlight, once again, Havana Coffee. Need a place for a meaningful conversation? Havana Coffee on Milton Avenue blends great drinks with a commitment to public discourse. It's where community happens, and it's one of our proud local partners and sponsors. We invite you to stop in, meet a neighbor, talk about a big idea. Well, democracy begins with conversation, and Havana's a great place to start that conversation. Let's end with this. Change isn't abstract, it's personal. It starts with us. Volunteer for a local organization. Join a board or a commission. Run for office. As Hillel the Elder once said, if not me, who? If not now, when? Hypothetically speaking, what if transparency were the default? What if local governments truly welcomed every voice? What if the next civic leader is you? We believe they already live among us. It's time to lift them up, not someday, not in theory, but now. Until next time, stay curious, stay engaged, stay connected. Hey, it's always a pleasure. See us next week for more updates on what's happening in your community. Thanks.